Good morning, everyone. It's Tess. Today is tip 302, and I'm just going to talk about dreams and what dreams are waiting for you to take action. And this article kind of hit me I pulled it related to what I talked about yesterday. And I've always liked Les Brown, and we've listened to a lot of Les Brown. And one of his things that he always talks about is not taking your gifts to the graveyard with you. And we know that there's been a lot of different things going on with people lately. And I found this article, and it was titled a little differently than what I titled my talk today. But the title of this article was "What Dreams Will Die with You?" And I want to look at it differently. What dreams are waiting for you to welcome them in? What can we do to start moving forward and achieve what our special gift is in this world? And I'm going to read the passage that is connected to Les Brown, because that is something Les Brown says, and I heard it the first time a year or 2 years ago when I first started with Doc V. And although I knew who Les Brown was, I hadn't connected with the passage yet. And Les Brown always talks about the fact that the saddest thing is the gifts that are left in the graveyard. And we don't want that, because we're here for a purpose. Let's make the best of this life. Let's create whatever it is we can create. And I think in creating the best of what our life has to offer, we create a world that's better for everybody around us. And so this passage kind of talks about, imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed. The ghosts of the ideas, I'll start that over again because my talking got kind of confused, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, and the talents given to you by life. And that you, for whatever reason, never acted on those ideas. You never pursued that dream. You never used that talent. We never saw your leadership, and you never used your voice. You never wrote that book. And there, standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes, saying, "We came to you, and only you could have given us life. Now we must die with you forever." The question is, if you die today, what ideas, what dreams, what abilities, what talents, what gifts would die with you? Les Brown. And I like that passage with Les Brown. It can be a little bit harsh, and it sounds painful, but if it can wake us up to taking chances, and that's what I've kind of tried to do the past 2 years, is to take chances and to reach out and to stop being fearful of making things different, but of being hopeful of making things different. And I think that's so important, because even back to Doc V, fear is, and even Steve Sims, fear, it should be replaced with the word learning. It's about expanding our comfort circle. It's about getting more comfortable, seeing more things. It's about giving our lives a chance to develop fully and to reach all the gifts that God gave us to achieve in this life. So I think that's why I even changed the title of my talk today, because I want to do it in a little bit of a more positive way. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, although I know that Les Brown's statement says that. But his idea and his dream and his hope is for everyone to achieve their goals. And I'm wondering, like, even him, if we were to ask him right now, he's achieved a lot of things, and I bet you there's still a lot of things he'd like to achieve. So in that respect, it's kind of beautiful. I do see I have someone on, so hello, whoever it is. I'm not sure who, but hello. So thinking about that, remember that we don't know how many days we have, but if you can every day, stretch out that comfort circle a little bit more, let go of that word fear, and learn to embrace. Hi, Annie Mae, good to see you. And I think that, and Annie Mae is a great example of that. She's been reaching out and doing things and achieving levels that I bet she probably never thought she could achieve. And that's what life is about. And that passage from Les Brown about the wasted gifts in the graveyard, this little passage from him really kind of hit me this morning, because I'm like, what do you mean? The things that I didn't accomplish are looking back at me with large angry eyes. I'm like, oh, I can't kind of think about that one. That one was kind of tough. But it does go back to that same thing that a lot of us talk about. People give up on their dreams for fear. And what we need to do is to let go of that word fear, because that's a negative emotion. It's an unhappy emotion. It doesn't feel good. So what we want to do is to look for joy. We want to look for happiness, and we want to look for excitement, to be exhilarated about the opportunities and the possibilities that are out there. And so many times in life, I can think of opportunities that maybe I walked away from because I let that four-letter word fear sneak in, and I'm going to replace it with excitement. I'm going to like annihilate that word fear and just override it with the word excitement, because learning new things, accomplishing things you didn't think you could do, and reaching levels you never thought were achievable has 100-fold better feeling than living in that place of regret or fear, or looking, as Les Brown said, at the angry eyes and the sad eyes upon the day that you leave this world, of the dreams and desires that you never overcame to reach out for. So I guess even in thinking about that, like Doc V talks about, he used to talk a lot, he hasn't lately, about falling out of the vortex. And I almost kind of think of it, that line of vortex where he says, oh, you fell out of the vortex. That's when you let your feelings and your emotions go to that negative place, that unhappiness, that fear, that despair, that anxiety. If you're starting to struggle and you're afraid to move forward, then think about even what Doc V always says, get back in that vortex. And being in that vortex means that you're in a place where you're happy, you're joyful, you're excited, you're exuberant, you're hopeful, you're expanding your comfort circle, and you're moving forward. You're learning, you're growing. You're letting those negative thoughts and emotions, because no matter what it is we're doing, we can either choose to be excited, hopeful, and willing to learn, to see where they can lead us. It may not be exactly what we see in our head, but we can be learning to be led somewhere new that's very exciting, or we can be fearful and stay exactly where we are. And I think most of us would like to reach for more. Oh, you're welcome, Annie Mae. So it does kind of talk about, and again, that Les Brown statement was kind of a good one. They say that fear of failure is the issue for most of us. I am going to try to just wipe out that word fear with excitement, exuberance, opportunities, growth, learning. If I can just totally overwrite that word and make it mean something new to me, I know that I'll reach further than I ever have before. I'm going to learn to be comfortable with uncertainty, because it means that my comfort circle is growing larger. And I think that's what I'd want for everybody. Let's change what we're looking at. Let's make sure that we're achieving the gifts that are given to us. Let's make sure that we're reaching new heights and new levels, so that when the day is that we're called home, we can be smiling, and those things that I mentioned earlier in this talk will be smiling at us. And just to kind of reiterate, I'll reread this statement, and maybe I'll add a few little words to it, but this is a Les Brown statement. And he looks at it as a way of sadness of not achieving some of the great gifts that were given only to you alone. And if we look at it that way, maybe it'll help us to move forward. There are some things that are meant to be accomplished by us, some things we're supposed to move forward with. And if we don't pursue them, they die with us. And he wrote this kind of in a way where he was seeing it from a negative emotional point. And if I can, as I'm reading through it, maybe I'll try to change a little bit. But he says, imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghosts of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, and the talents given to you by life. And that you, for whatever reason, never acted on those ideas. You never pursued that dream. You never used those talents. We never saw your leadership. You never used your voice, and you never wrote that book. And there they are standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. Now we must die with you forever. The question is, if you die today, what dreams, abilities, talents, and gifts would die with you? Les Brown. Now think about how exciting it would be if that day was coming and those large eyes looking at us were huge and filled with excitement of the gifts that we left behind, the gifts that your children, your children's children, your neighbor, your friend, your student could take to the next level and create a better world. Maybe we could create an excitement and a love and an opportunity to experience things that no one has ever experienced before. We're seeing growth in this world in amazing ways, and it may never show up in lights, but let's turn those angry eyes that Les Brown talks about to eyes that are so excited and so full of love and joy for the gifts that we leave behind in this world, that they're just overflowing and unable to even be maintained in a room. Let's reach out, leave fear and discomfort behind, override those words with excitement, joy, love, growing that comfort circle, and let's reach beyond what's known. Create an amazing circle of comfort and jump into a future that will blow us all away. Have a beautiful day. Have an amazing Thanksgiving for everyone in the U.S. and for the rest of us, for all of us, even in the U.S. Let's reach past what we know is comfortable and go into it with excitement, love, joy, happiness, and achievements in ways that we never dreamed possible. Have a great day, and thank you.